because it seemed white business didn't really like this Zulu boy from Nkandla. And they snubbed him. Dropped out of school, spoke a lot of Zulu, sing and dance. A clown. Come on, doesn't really know anything. He's good for the people, so he can go and perform while we do the business. But Zuma wasn't an idiot. If anything, one of the smartest political leaders we've had in this country. And he opened up certain doors that had not been seen by black business people and many other black people, ordinary South Africans. His legacy becomes the Guptas and 9 wasted years. But in the Guptas themselves, we got exposed to things like the PIC in a way that people had never heard of. The IDC, these funding houses, why are they not funding certain black businesses and only funding some handpicked by incumbent white minority capital?
Big white business could not stomach a Zulu boy from Nkandla in KwaZulu-Natal, right? A peasant in power. What really happened to President Jacob Zuma and why his administration was sabotaged so much by the white monopoly capital, which even decided to go on what is called an investment strike, where this white monopoly capital was making money out of the South Africans, or rather South Africa's economy, but not reinvesting back into the South Africa's economy because of its dislike for President Jacob Zuma. Right. So today, we are confronting a reality many people are afraid to say out loud. What if white business in South Africa could not stomach a Zulu boy from Nkandla becoming president and actually exercising power over them? What if the problem was not just corruption, but who Jacob Zuma was and what he represented and his presidency represented and meant for the country? A man from rural KwaZulu-Natal, leading one of Africa's biggest economies. Was that something the economic elites could accept? Or was Jacob Zuma always going to be removed, no matter what? Stay with me, because today we are not repeating what the mainstream media, which is white controlled, has told you. We are going to unpack why Jacob Zuma became unacceptable. We are going to unpack who really benefited from his removal. We are going to unpack whether big business has more power than your vote. A president they did not expect. They never expected Jacob Zuma to become the president. That is why they did all they could to put each and every hurdle on his way. Jacob Zuma was not the kind of leader white business prefers. He was not polished in Western institutions like your Thabo Mbeki. He was not aligned with corporate culture like your Cyril Ramaphosa. He was not predictable to investors like your Cyril Ramaphosa. Instead, he was a liberation struggle veteran. He was a grassroots politician. He was a man deeply rooted in Zulu identity and rural politics. To many South Africans, he represented hope, right? But to white business, he represented uncertainty. And uncertainty is something white capital hates. When power does not fit the system, let us talk honestly. South Africa's economy is not controlled in parliament. It is influenced by banks, mining companies, global investors, credit rating agencies. These forces do not vote, but they react. The moment policies threaten profit, the rand weakens. And of course, we know they control the rand. The investment slows. They even go into what they've termed the investment strike. Media panic increases and they begin to disseminate false narratives. Now, remember, Jacob Zuma's presidency was associated with radical economic transformation. And when you talk about radical economic transformation, it means transforming the economy to empower the natives who suffer the injustices of apartheid. It means redressing the injustices of colonialism. Zuma's presidency was associated with greater state control. Zuma's presidency was associated with redistribution of wealth. These are policies that challenge the status quo. So again, ask yourself, was the resistance to Zuma about governance or about protecting economic power? The build-up to removal. Jacob Zuma did not fall overnight. It was a sustained campaign. Constant corruption headlines. Endless scandals dominating public discourse. Growing divisions within the African National Congress. And increasing pressure from financial markets. Now, do not misunderstand. Corruption allegations were serious. But here is the uncomfortable question. Why did everything escalate at such intensity? And has corruption stopped after removal of Jacob Zuma, or has it gotten worse? Why did everything escalate at such intensity when similar issues have existed before and even after Jacob Zuma? We are even told about the false narrative of the 9 wasted years. We know it's just absolute hogwash. It's cow dung. Why did big business suddenly become champions of clean governance when actually the people who are engaged in corruption, it is the same white business? Where was the same energy before and where it is now? Who could not stomach Jacob Zuma? Let us go back to the main question. Who could not stomach Jacob Zuma? Was it ordinary South Africans or the economic elites who felt threatened? Because when Jacob Zuma left, right, markets stabilized. business confidence improved, the rand strengthened, but unemployment has gotten worse. Poverty has gotten worse. What does that tell you about the three indicators? The stabilization of the markets, the business confidence, and the rand strengthen. It tells you that those are things that are controlled by the very same white business to hoodwink the masses. That tells you something. It tells that the problem was not corruption. The problem was the hatred that the white business has for Jacob Zuma. Democracy versus economic power. Now we must confront a deeper issue. Do we really live in a system where the people decide? Or do we live in a system where leaders are acceptable only if they align with the economic power and economic elites? Because if a president can be removed, not just by voters, but by pressure from markets and corporations, then democracy is limited. It operates within the boundaries set by capital. In conclusion, right, this conversation is not about defending Jacob Zuma. It's about understanding power, real power. Because until we understand who truly shapes outcomes in this country, we will continue debating personalities while ignoring the system. So I leave you with this. Did Jacob Zuma fall because of corruption? Or because big business could not stomach him being in power? If you want more content that challenges the narrative, subscribe to IZWI LABANSUNDU, join to become a member. Here we do not repeat headlines, we question them. Drop your comment below. Was Zuma a victim of the system, or did he bring it upon himself? Let us talk. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Tebus Kosana, Kama Kuma Africa.